Okay, so I thought I'd make another update. Okay, but this one is called Coffee and TV. Okay, Coffee and TV, and the song will be by Blur, Coffee and TV, and there'll probably be some others. But please watch the update and watch the song where it's called Last Clown. Okay, by Turin Brakes. Putting the brakes on. But okay, so running, separation and avoidance of yourself from lessons. Okay, now that's the worst thing that this is to a collective of people that you can do, is block communication, because you're not only blocking the communication between you and a soulmate, but you're blocking like an elephant in the room, like we've gone over when I did the video. It's a lesson. There's a lesson there of that you're blocked the communication, so you're blocking yourself. You're avoiding something in yourself, the darkness within yourself. I wish I'd have got the other card out, but in the Seven of Cups, you're blocking the darkness that needs work, reflecting on. Okay, so you're basically blocking out the fact that 11:11 on the clock, 111. You're basically blocking out, like if you look at it like an elephant in the room, you're blocking out the fact that there is actually one in the room, that you, regardless, that you have to deal with it. You have to deal with it. Okay, so when we create separation of avoidance and soulmates start to run, is the fact that you're blocking communication. And that's the worst thing, because people start to, well, I'm going to block you from Facebook, I'm going to block you from social media, I'm not going to talk to you, I'm just going to avoid you, but I can't avoid the fact that there is a connection. Because there is, because that's destiny. It's soulmate reflection. It's soulmate karma. It's soulmate 202 on the clock. It's soulmate stuff where it's put together for you to be together. But you see, a relationship takes work. It's a partnership. Okay, so when you run from a relationship, 202 on the clock. When you run. 222, sorry. When you run from responsibility, you're basically running from yourself, you know, because you're blocking out a lesson. You're like, so what happens is that you suppress the feelings and then you act out. You start to live in illusion and karmic illusion. You can do, you know, and that's the worst thing that can happen, because you're avoiding yourself. You're avoiding things about yourself, so you act out. So you can go to people, then can start drinking, start arguing, start blaming other people for something that they can't, that's hidden within themselves, that brings it to the surface. You see, this is what I was saying about a gift, is that it enforces people to bring things to the surface. Okay, it's like counselling in a way. But it enforces you to bring it to the surface, to stare at it, to take a look at what needs looking at. It's inner reflection of inner self. Okay, but when you're involved with, say, new karmic, well, I mean, everything's kind of karmic because it all needs work. But I don't believe that the person that I've met is a karmic situation, because of the feeling that I have for her, which is deep, very deep. You know, I would do anything for her. Absolutely anything for her. I don't see her as someone that would hurt me at all. I really don't. I really do not. And I fully believe that, because of how much we've communicated and how much we really know about each other. You know. So I know that she's running. Okay, I know that she's running. 4:04 on the clock. I know that she's running, and I don't blame her. You know, I miss her, sure, of course I do. But you see, you can run from responsibility because it's an avoidance of something that's internally felt, but it can be scary for people, because we become up with victim mode of where we're kind of like, you know, when it's real bad karma. This is why running's bad, because it can turn bad. It can turn sour. You know, the milk can turn sour, basically. What's the film? Yeah, sorry. But Lock, Stock, Two Smoking Barrels, right? 4:44 on the clock. But when you run from that, it can turn sour, because you just keep avoiding it and keep avoiding it and keep avoiding it. And that's why God, or whatever you believe in, spirit, has put soulmates together. is because you cannot run from responsibility. It needs facing. Face the facts. It brings it to the surface to make you reflect on why you need to. So if you keep running, you then start to project blame on things that are good, prosperity, because we fear that, well, why can somebody be so good? Why can somebody or something be so good for me, but why do I fear it? Why do I kind of hate them so much, but I don't? You know. So this is why communication is key of why you should not block or run from responsibility of a soulmate, is that you have to face it head on. You have to, in order to be able to deal with it, to notice whether you can move forward, 555 on the clock, whether you can move forward if it's karmic. You learn that much of why someone would treat you fucking so bad, but in the end, you see it for what it is. You know, you see the woods for the trees, you see everything for what it is of illusion, and your feelings and your emotions of what they really are, and you learn to move forward in a direction, and then you meet a new soulmate, you know, the power couple. And I believe that I believe that she is actually my twin flame. You know, I do. And I know she does. And I know she does. And I know she feels the same way for me because she's told me, you know. So I know that she needs time, but I know that she's running. And I can't talk to her. I can't talk to her because she's ghosted me. Because she's completely ghosted me. You know. But that's not my karma to carry. You know, it's not my karma to carry, is the fact that I will move forward regardless, because you can't wait. You can't wait for people because they could take a lifetime. You know, they could. But when you block communication altogether, it's the same as what I've said. You're 717 on the clock. You're not, like, a lesson karmically is written in stone of the Three of Pentacles, or karma, or destiny. It's written for you to experience, right? So when you meet a new soulmate, it's written for you to meet the person that you're supposed to be with, okay? And you can meet your new soulmate, but you meet them at face value, okay? But you meet them at the beginning of the end, okay? It's like standing at a precipice and that you're pulling your soulmate and you walk up to them and you pull them out of the pit. But they're not fighting to go back in the pit, they're fighting to get out of the pit. And you take their hand and you pull them out, okay? And you're like, all right, bruv, where have you been? Well, I've been in illusion, but I'm coming out of it. So am I. Exactly the same time. Exactly the same time as what you are. So what do? Well, we work together. We work together. So we communicate. Because it's past life, past actions, past life too. This is a past life card, a passing energy of a new creation, of a new beginning, of a power couple, of the future, of the two that stands firm as a power couple, that walk towards the camera of the future, that leave the past life behind. You meet again after time, after time, after time. Okay? So when you run, you know, it's not because it's written for you to literally experience that, regardless. And the more that you run, the more it is planted in the subconscious memory of fear, because the more time that goes by, you fear more. Then you fear more, and you fear more, and then the time goes by, and the time goes by, and the time goes by. And believe you me, I've been there with my old karmic situation. You know, because then you play the waiting game, and you wait, and you wait, and you wait, and you wait, and you wait. You know, and that's time. It's built up with more karma. Then you add more karma, more just gets added on to the timeline of where you're wasting time, basically. Because the time was when you first come together and you help one another, very much so through communication. So when one avoids the communication, they build up more karma within them until they decide that they need to face facts to bring out the surface of, well, when we were talking, it was fantastic and we were dealing with issues. But now I'm running, you know. And that's not what you do in any kind of circumstance in life, is the fact that you have to face facts and you have to face it head on, fear. You have to face it head on. Because if not, you fall backwards in time. You fall under a category of karmic illusion then. Because you start to think and overanalyze, and then you project badness from what's created from the mind of blame from my old past onto the future. Then the future timeline of something that's good and that's written, you project being like scared, or we all are. It scared me for a start, because I met someone that I felt absolutely kind of head over heels for, and I've not flown across the world yet. We've not kind of been in front of each other, but it was a strong connection. So it's undeniable. It's an undeniable connection, but a connection where now someone is running. But I feel like I'm kind of babbling. But that's kind of coffee and TV at the moment. So the best thing is that never run from a soulmate. Always communicate, okay? If you're in a bad situation with a soulmate and you are like been offering, and you have come up with nothing but denial and being blocked, then stop offering. Stop offering. That's when you're in that's when you're in the bowl of soup, man. That's like right in the thick of the karma of when you just can't get people to leave, or they just won't, like you can't get through to them. It doesn't matter what you do, you can't get through to them, because that means that you're codependent and you're forcing something upon someone, and that you're just trying, but it's just not happening because you're forcing. So you have to break through boundaries of codependency. So that's a different coffee and TV, really. But it's all about facing facts and bringing things to the surface of what you only ever reflect through communication. Because it's key to life. It is. Because it's universal energy, and why I always present myself as my true self. Why I can come on camera and say this in front of everybody, of how strongly I feel for this, for my new soulmate, twin flame, or whatever people, I do feel it. Intensely, but I still have to move forward regardless. I still have to continue on a path that's written for me to experience, but I can't enforce her to communicate. I can't. That's her choice. Her decision. 13:13 on the clock. That's her choice to do that. Whether she wants to build up more codependency or denial or inflicting pain upon yourself. Of where I know, because of how much we got on so well, communication was just undeniable. So I will leave it with how we met. How we met. Well, the guy that came on something astrology, and I made a video sticking up for somebody, okay? The guy that was going across the board slating women off, and saying that they were all fucking PTSD and they were all this, and they'd done nothing but blame men and blah blah blah, and was slagging me off across the comment section in my videos. I made a video to stick up for somebody, and we started talking. As soon as that happened, it pushed me and this person together in divine timing, and we spoke about it. My ending happened the same time when I quit my old channel, happened at the same time as the ending that happened within her life too. The same time that I decided to start doing tarot, which was at the beginning of November. I first ever picked up a pack of cards to do an actual reading. Was the first time she started looking into tarot card reading online. She came across my channel. Then that thing happened with that astrology guy. I made the video. I stuck up for her. We met. We started talking. Then we started talking a lot more and a lot more She started to trust me, I started to trust her, and we started to work through a hell of a lot of issues, family issues. We started to realise that we related in every single way, slightly differently, but pretty much every way. And as communication got good, it was retrograde, things hit, and then things ended, you know. But that was very strange how that guy pushed us together, came on blaming everybody, but it was for a reason. It was for a reason to push us together very strongly, you know. And I miss her a lot already, you know, I do, because she's such a strong woman. She's so intelligent. She's so open. When she became open, we got on so well. We laughed and laughed and laughed, just fucking to the point where you just like, you're crying. You're crying, you know. And I hope that she trusts me. I know that she does. I know that she does. And I do trust her wholeheartedly, I do. Because I wouldn't have been planning to fly halfway across the world, 11 hours, you know, and I was doing it. I was 100% doing it, 100%, booking a ticket, packing up my stuff for Christmas, and taking a flight 11 hours across the world. And I've barely ever left the UK, barely ever. A couple of times when I was younger with parents and things, but never on my own. And I was literally saying, fuck it, you know. I am going to buy myself a ticket, and I am going to fly across the world for us to meet, you know. But it was very strange how all that happened. But that is part of the story that I will never be afraid to admit, you know, because it needs talking about. You need to purge out, you know, communication. But very weird. But that's the first Coffee and TV with Steve. Okay. It's not a video, but I just thought I would do it like this. Quick one. Okay. So the song will be by Blur, Coffee and TV, and there'll probably be another one maybe. Okay. But please check out the weekly, and check out Last Clown. I will put that in this one too. Okay. But check that out. Okay. All right, guys. Peace. I'm going to get on with the rest of the weeklies, and I'll see you soon. Peace.